Coding also something that's very special. In fact, most of our minds, we are very innovative people, but we don't have avenues. We don't have avenues that can be able to employ us. And innovatively, education has over time accumulated a lot of knowledge, which it is limited to get employment. Na nitakuwa naangalia leo hii like now. Actually, nimeanzisha kipindi inayoitwa hesabu ya siku that will be able to help the government of Kenya. And you realize that kila siku lazima upige hesabu zako vizuri, pamoja na kupiga hesabu zako vizuri so that you can be able to live. So daily we engage in mathematics. And as a mathematics expert, we really need to budget well as a country. Is because we are making a lot of losses through corruption, and we are making a lot of losses. We are spending much compared to how much we in fact make, and that is why we go for loans from other countries. Look, countries like China has converted, is working much in production than consumption. For us in Kenya, we are working much in consumption than production, and that is why with that equilibrium, balanced equilibrium in terms of consumption and of course production, brings inequality in Kenya. Of course, other factors, geopolitical factors, but at the same time, land, capital, and other factors that lead to, of course, personal knowledge of how you are able to convert the knowledge now to really work. So there is a switch, there is a bridge between now converting the graduates to be much productive in the Kenyan system. Because not all people can be lucky, for example, to secure jobs. At the same time, go to even other countries. So as a country, we really need to engage these young minds so that they can be busy and be productive to our country. Nasema ya kwamba lazima wale ambao wamesomeshwa sasa kwa miaka 20 for the last 20 years plus, those who have benefited from education, is convert that education to be something productive to our country and the Republic of Kenya. Then if we can convert that to something that's very productive, then you realize that Kenya is going to head to somewhere better. Even we can be able to fulfill the vision of 2030. So we cannot be able to achieve vision 2030 when we import packed food from other countries. We import edible oil, we import clothes, we import peat, we import everything. So there are areas that I want to advise the Mr. President of the Republic of Kenya, that if we work in production agriculture, because in Kenya is present to be an agricultural country with limited minerals. We don't have much minerals, but for even with the rest we have, if we can really utilize it well, then it will see that our economy that is going to grow. Production agriculture. Can we really do smart farming, agribusiness agriculture, whereby we produce much than we consume, and they have much to export? And there's something I've come to learn, that why is Kenya shrink? The Kenya shilling, like kuna mtu anauliza like the Kenya shilling comparing to a dollar or converting to a dollar is 129 shillings. Then if we want the Kenya shilling to be, for example, I think of a time when $1 will be 40 Kenya shillings, then it means that our economy has grown, that we are exporting much than importing. When we import much, then our shilling, that is, it deteriorates. So we really need to take that care of our shilling by putting much in agriculture and producing much food for this country, and that in turn will bring employment. So the most important people now should be the producers, the farmers. They have to be paid well in various crops that they grow, and so that they can be able to be motivated, they get that blood of working and producing, and that we may have incentives readily in the market, so that when we have those incentives ready in the market, we can be able to utilize whatever that we have. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that we really need to rethink of our economy, and even after rethinking from our economy, then we are now going to align and have a good country. So Mr. President, or the Dr. His Excellency William Ruto, that is what we need us to do. There's a president, I think is from South America, country like in Peru. There's a moment that I heard that president actually earns less than at even other avenues of it. It doesn't mean that when you are a government official or a civil servant, you need to earn much. If we can hold and contain the losses we make through corruption, then we are going to convert that money to something useful and encourage Kenyans. You don't need to steal, because when you steal, you're going to injure the other areas of the economy, because we will not have medicines in hospitals, we will not have schools, we will not have, when we steal from our country, we are killing and injuring our economy. So we really need to have that and look at that. It's very important. But for me, I am saying that the governments need to now support those people that are graduates or graduates. Their limit of loan, they should be given a loan between 10,000 even to 500,000, because they are educated, so that they can be able to convert that money, invest it in business, invest it in agriculture, and do smart agriculture that will in turn increase the outputs that we are earning. Instead of being, you realize that when you finish university, you don't have much to start, so you have to really struggle. So the government of Kenya really needs to support that, and I am sure that when we as youths will be busy, even pundits will not be there, and employment, they will be, everybody will be busy, and nobody will be thinking about politics, because people are really working, and if you are working, then it means you don't have time to think about other avenues like politics, because you are busy. So continue to follow me in the next video, so that you can be able to realize what I'm talking about.